Boy, oh boy, am I pumped to get my hands on this game. So, I'm sure all of you already saw, or already have seen, that's a better way to say it, the single-player trailer for Battlefield 4 this week. And I have to be honest here, I was never this excited to play any other military FPS campaign in my life. And up until now, Call of Duty always had the more entertaining campaigns in the military shooter scene. And in fact, the single-player campaign in the last couple of CODs has been a lot more enjoyable than their multiplayer, at least for me. But man, this Battlefield campaign is looking so good. It's insanely good. And I know that there will be a lot of scripted scenes and a lot of restricted areas, like you pretty much have in all FPS games these days, with maybe the exception of games like Borderlands. But I'm not really into those games, sadly. But I've made my peace with that. And if they can keep up the pace and blow us away with amazing battles, environments, and some decent storytelling, then I am more than satisfied. I'm fine with that. And DICE really invested a lot in their single-player campaign this time. I just can't wait to play it. I mean, come on, we have Chalky White in this one. DICE sure loves to put famous black people in their games from popular television shows. I mean, last time we had in Battlefield 3 we had the pleasure to play with Estes from Homeland. I bet you didn't know that one. And the Battlefield franchise has just come so far. I mean, I remember when Battlefield hit the console market with their Bad Company series. I know there was not Bad Company 2, Battlefield 2, but that one wasn't really too popular on the consoles. But when it really became popular with the Bad Company series, I was so blown away at first, especially with the first Bad Company. I mean, everything about that game I just loved. From the vehicles to how big the maps were and how the weapons sounded. And at that time, I was still playing COD 4. I was very heavily into COD 4. I don't even think World of War was even released back then. I think later on, but not when Bad Company first came out. And those were pretty much the only two games that I was playing back then. Battlefield always had the immersion part right. They really knew how to create a unique environment and experience in the military shooter scene or genre. And that's why I fell in love with the franchise, the immersion and the overall experience. And what I would have loved to see, though, in Battlefield 4, what I would love to see in Battlefield 4, I know it's probably never going to happen or not going to happen, but is a campaign like we had in Bad Company, the first Bad Company, with open environments, large battles, and there wasn't a lot of scripting and restricted areas back then. I mean, you always had restricted areas, but not like we see in the losing my words, not in the modern shooters that we see today. And you had multiple ways of approaching your enemies. You can pretty much steal every vehicle on the map and do whatever you wanted. That's what I really loved about the game. I absolutely loved that. And that's something that I really miss from the first Bad Company game. But later on, it was clear that DICE wanted to create a more cinematic experience. In Bad Company 2, we had a lot more cutscenes and a lot more dialogue. And then in Battlefield 3, we had the full cinematic experience. We had a lot of beautiful environments, and it was a total script fest. And usually I don't really have a problem with that because you always had the multiplayer, and it was insanely good. I mean, everyone knew that even before the game came out. You know, everyone knew that the multiplayer was going to be epic. It was going to be amazing. But the story that they were trying to tell was just, I mean, it was awful. It was very badly written, and the gameplay just it wasn't that good. It was boring. And I felt like all these epic things were happening around me, and I couldn't take part in it. And a good example of that is a jet scene in Battlefield 3. Overall, it was, and it felt like an epic moment, like an epic set and a beautiful environment. But you weren't able to really take part in it. The only thing you were able to do was aiming and firing at the enemy jet. Even the game walked you up to the game walked up to the jet for you, and it just made you watch. And that's one of the examples. I don't really like that stuff. Like, let me take part in it. You know, let me walk up to the jet. Let me get into the jet. Don't do that. That's awful. So I hope things like that are going to disappear in Battlefield 4, and I'm sure DICE did things right this time, or at least they tried, and they will not disappoint us. And I really do think that Battlefield 4 is going to come with a strong campaign this time, very strong, and I look very much forward to playing the shit out of it. And let me know in the comments, guys, are you just as excited as I am for the Battlefield 4 campaign, or are you just interested in the multiplayer? Let me know. Also, the reason why I haven't been uploading recently is because I've been working on a pretty big Ugh, words, so hard. Pretty big project around Battlefield 4, and I've just been editing the whole time. Actually, you saw a couple of scenes in the intro that I've been working on. So, yeah, there's planes in it, and letters on top of planes, and all kinds of crazy stuff. You'll like it. I'm sure you'll like it. Yeah, and I've literally, like, haven't been playing anything since the beta stopped, just working and editing, and, making all kinds of amazing stuff. But yeah, I'm looking to get back into some Arma 3, actually, until Battlefield 4 drops. Play some Wasteland. So if you want to play with me, leave a comment or send me a private message, and we'll play together. It'll be fun. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, of course, do not forget to drop a like. I am Dolce, and I'll see you in the next video.